products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play it against sports at 48th and Vine.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186. Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. We know that navigating the legal system is stressful and overwhelming, but Liberty Law Group will carry that burden for you. When you're facing legal issues, make the right call. 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos as always. Come 6 o'clock. This is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. Got the former Husker tight end to my left as always. We also have a guest streaming in, so be sure to check out Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Allo, Channel 961. Great ways to put a face to the voice. We got Royals on the airways, but the Starter Heyman text line still available to you. That's 402-464-5685. We got the house cleaning out of the way. Throw it over to the host. We got, as always, Chancellor Brewington. How's it going on a Monday night?
It's going great. And today is going to be a great show. I hope everyone had a blessed Monday. Started the week off right. But we got Husker football. It's week one. It's week one. There's really nothing else to talk about. There's nothing else to talk about around here. That's what you're going to get. Tonight we have a special guest, a very, very special guest, Connor Hayden from Corn Crazed. I would say one of the hottest YouTubes for Nebraska football. How are you doing, Connor?
I appreciate it. I'm doing really well. I just got my UTEP prediction posted up on my channel, so I'm excited for this week. It's got to start early, you know?
Yes, I do. I do. I mean, we're gonna get into your predictions. I'm curious to hear. But tell us a little bit about the channel and how things been going. It's been a while since I've talked to you last.
Yeah, you and I did a video last year before that Colorado game. Obviously, things didn't go as well as we had hoped. I think you were at that game too with me. But, we're a lot more excited about this season. I think the channel's a reflection of that. If you go and look at the views lately, people are really tapped in. They're excited. There's a new excitement because of the quarterback, obviously. Then you've got the offense that's a little bit revamped, and people just think that there's reason to have hope that, last year it was a new year, it was a fresh start, but now they've solved some of the issues and they figured out where they went wrong to start off the tenure for Rule.
Yeah. So when you think about this team, it's interesting. You got a freshman quarterback, one of the top recruits in the nation. You got a defense, I would say probably top 15 going into this year.
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
Top 15.
Top 15. And then we look at this offense, so many question marks. We'll get into it. But what are just your overall first thoughts of, going through camp? Now we're at week 1. What are your thoughts on this team?
I think the most important part is that they figured out how to get a passing game. And the start was to get receivers in there. They didn't have the depth last year. You saw a few injuries. And then once they were depleted, it was hard to let Harburg or whoever else was playing quarterback at the time find reliable weapons downfield. Now you've got multiple guys in there. So worst comes to worst, you can go into the depth. And those are guys who it sounds like are playmakers that the staff will rely on. I think that from a running back standpoint, you've got guys who obviously have proven it. And I think 3 or 4 of them have been starters already in their career. So when you have that many guys who are proven assets, it makes you feel like, man, again, even if a worst comes to a worst situation does occur, they're going to be able to go into that depth and they're going to be able to go and play 13 games this season. No problem.
Yeah. I mean, so Nebraska just released the depth. You got a chance to view it. I'm assuming, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So there was a couple like, ooh, like I wasn't so sure that Nebraska was going to go that way, but it excites me that they are. The first one, my first big excitement, and I would say the one I'm looking most forward to is our slot receiver, Bonner at slot. I think that's such an important role. If you look at what he played last year, he came in as a receiver, right? When I was there, he was a receiver, strictly outside, right? Next year, they want him to put on a few pounds and kind of play that third tight end, that kind of hip tight end, never really with a hand in the dirt, right? And then go back and play fullback too, H-back as well. So when I see a guy like that, and now you put him at slot, it's super different than the traditional slots we've had in the past. We look at 2 years ago, I mean, even last year, we look at Lloyd, a real burner, right? We see right now that he's working on the outside, right? I'm sure there'll be some packages where he goes in, some formations where, he's the slot receiver, stretching the defense. I'm sure we'll see that. But as the true slot, we saw, I call him Wood, my bad. Bonner, we see Bonner in there. We look at Trey Palmer, that's the type of slots we've had. Samari Toure, Wan'Dale Robinson. And so now we get a 6'1", 6'2", 225, 220-pound slot, right? Who just played fullback, just played H-back. I think it's going to be super interesting to see. And then obviously the backup being IGC, real experienced receiver. What are your thoughts when you see Bonner in that slot?
I think the primary deal is the size, right? So you just talked about how you had Palmer, JD Spielman, Wan'Dale, guys who are all smaller. When you look at the entire receiver room, they just got bigger. Banks is 6'3", 6'4". Nair 6'3". Bonner, he's 220 some pounds. I think he's at least 6'1". So you have all these big bodies over there. And number one, they're tall, but they can make plays after the catch because they're heavier. They're more durable. When they go and play against better defenses and stronger guys at places like USC, Ohio State, they'll be able to take those hits and deliver them. So I think just getting bigger as a team is what's going to set Nebraska apart. I went to the Michigan game last year and I saw on the sideline how big the Michigan dudes were, and Nebraska just didn't have that size to match up. But you see what Rule's trying to do, recruit and develop guys into NFL bodies, and it starts with their size.
Yeah, 100%. And even the third guy on the slot list, like a lot of people are, don't really know what type of role he's going to play. He's a freshman, Carter Nelson. Super interesting body type. I'm sure later down the line, I'm assuming this offseason, he'll put on the weight to be a tight end. I don't think he's going to stay at that receiver position, but a lot of people are high on him. A lot of people thought maybe, he was going to be maybe the second guy in the slot. I would imagine he not only plays slot, but also works in with the tight ends as well. Has there been any talk about, on your channel about Carter Nelson and what he provides to this offense?
Yeah, we talk about Carter. I've had people who are close to him reach out to me, and ever since he was getting recruited to Nebraska, and they were always giving me insight. And they told me when he was, I think, a freshman or sophomore in high school, he was going to be a special player. So I've been keeping tabs on him forever, even though I didn't know if he was going to come to Nebraska or not. But I think hearing that he ran a 4.4 something in practice, and he was one of the fastest guys on the entire team, not just incoming freshmen, but out of the entire receiver room. That really says, okay, this guy might be somebody who you can rely on to get separation. And 6'5", 6'6", whatever he is, playing slot is definitely unique, but I'm sure they're going to find ways to work him in, and he's going to be a good guy for Dylan to look to downfield.
No, for sure. And as I'm looking, we're staying on the receiver room. As I'm looking at this depth chart, the guys who started last year towards the end of the year were, you got Alex Bullock, you got Malachi Coleman and Jalen Lord. When you look at the depth, they're towards the bottom. And that's no shade on them. That just shows the type of recruiting and the depth that they added in this offseason. So I'm super excited. And so when I think about the 0 through 9 single digit jerseys, right? I'm sure you did a video on it. But when I see Jamal Banks at that number 4, I'm like, okay, maybe that's our guy, right? Because I said this from the beginning. In every year, there's never, last year was a strange situation, but in traditional football, in the offensive rooms, there's always a receiver that emerges to the top. And I'm kind of sensing and I'm kind of feeling, just kind of what I've been hearing and whatever, that, when we get in that 3rd and 8 situation, that 3rd and 12, that Jamal Banks is going to be our guy. What are your thoughts on Jamal Banks? First of all, getting the single digit number, and what do you think his role is going to be on this offense?
Yeah, well, the most important thing here is that you heard so much about Isaiah Nayor. He was the star in that recruiting class because of what he did at Wyoming, obviously coming over from Texas, where he was working with some of the best receivers, coaches, and quarterbacks in the entire country. Jamal Banks came in, and he was obviously a popular name, but the focus was on Nayor. Now that you hear Banks might be the key, it's like, wow, you actually have 2 guys who could be studs. We're not just working with 1 star. You've got 2 potential breakout players there. So that's the first point of emphasis. There's 2 receivers here who could be NFL talents, and that gives Dylan a ton of opportunity. Then you talk about Banks earning that single digit. You watched the Chasing 3 episodes on YouTube, and he was one of the leaders, clearly. He spoke about some of his past, his family, his connection to Nebraska, why he came. And then you hear Rule talk about him in the press conference. And it just sounds like he's the mature leader that Nebraska needs in that room. When you have so many young players coming in, Ja'Cory Barney's going to play, and Malachi Coleman's young, Jalen Lloyd's young, but you have a senior guy from Wake Forest who's already had 3 seasons where he's gone over 500 or 600 yards. That experience, leadership, maturity is just going to help that room grow and develop. So I'm excited that he's on the team.
Nah, for sure. And what was the stat, Harrison? I think it was like 54 catches last year,
56 receptions, 0 drops.
0 drops.
Over 600 yards.
That's the type of guy we need.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of guy we need. And so, wrapping up with the receiver room, I think they're going to be fantastic. Now, moving on to where I think will relieve a lot of pressure from Dylan Raiola and the offense is the running back. And Ramir Johnson
got a bunch of oars on there right now, but week 1.
Yeah, right.
Expected it,
right. And we kind of see Ramir as the quote unquote starter. That or kind of means, 1 and 2 type deal. So we expect to see all 3, right? That's what the depth is telling us. So we're expecting to see Ramir Johnson, Emmett Johnson, and Gabe Irvin Jr. But throwing Ramir in that start, you had to throw somebody, right? So throwing Ramir in there means something. So when I think of a running back like Ramir, I think of a real downhill runner. I think of a great pass catcher. I think of a third down back as well. He's very smart IQ wise. He's able to pick up blitzes. He's not scared of any of that. And also special teams, of course, kick returner and stuff. So when you see Ramir as the quote unquote starting running back, what are your first thoughts? And I watched the video, Connor. I saw you predicted this exact lineup. So what were your thoughts back then? And obviously, what are your thoughts now?
I think Ramir has the most upside, right? He's versatile. And when you look at what the offense is trying to be and have this running back be an outlet that Dylan can pass the ball off to, Ramir can catch the ball the best out of any of those 3 that we're talking about. Last year, because they were going to be a downhill run team, it looked like Gabe Irvin was going to be the number 1. But I just think the way the offense is shifting, it makes sense that Ramir takes that position. There's a lot to be said for Emmett Johnson, though. He came in last year. I think he started 6 games after Anthony Grant and I can't even remember who the other back was last year, but regardless, Ramir is now stepping in after he has a year off where he's in a basically pivotal moment. This is the make or break season. He's a 6th year or 5th year senior. This is his one opportunity. He's fully healthy and ready to go. We saw a lot out of him in 2021 when he led the way for that team, the best 3-9 team of all time. And I'm just really excited to see what he can do as a guy who's not just a running back, but more of a get out of the backfield and catch balls in the open field back.
Yeah. So when I look at this running back room, it's interesting the body types. So we got, obviously 5'10", 200, 5'11", 200. So I would say Ramir, although there are different 200, Ramir's a little bit slimmer. Ramir's a type of 4'3" guy, really, to be honest. He's that type of fast. And then you got Emmett, kind of this more elusive back. I would say in like more zone, more gap schemes, those type of schemes, I would love Emmett in those. But then we get Gabe. And it's going to be interesting to see where Gabe fits in this because, 220, 225, 230, around that body type, getting him in like some 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 situations kind of leads me to my next thing. Obviously, we got Dylan at starting quarterback, and we'll talk about, expectations for him and what Rule had to say. But then looking at Haarberg, what role do you think Haarberg plays in this offense? My personal opinion, what I would like to see him kind of Tim Tebow freshman year at Florida, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, QB power, QB trap. Like everyone knows we're running downhill, fullback lead with a QB dive, like that type of things. What do you expect to see from Haarberg? Obviously if he gets in, but what are your initial thoughts on that?
Expectations versus what reality is going to be is tough because I'm not on that coaching staff. I haven't seen what they're doing over there with him, and they're keeping it pretty under wraps. Even today, people were asking about Haarberg's role, and Rule said, we want to keep things close to our chest to some degree, and you just got to watch the game and figure it out, right? If I was the coach, I would want to use him as much as I possibly could, kind of like how you said. Use him as a change of pace guy. Let him come in, throw the defense off, because Haarberg can also throw it, but teams are going to assume when he's in, there's a much higher percentage chance that Nebraska is going to run the ball. If they were able to go out there and do that effectively, I think it takes a lot of pressure off Dylan as well, because he can come off, take a rest, and he can watch that offense go to work and go downhill run game option, however they want to use Haarberg. But he's a trustworthy, reliable quarterback who's already won games, so he deserves playing time. It's just how much do you give him? How much do you want to protect him? Because we saw what happened last year. We've seen it every year at Nebraska. They can't make it through a season healthy. It doesn't feel like at quarterback. And so you want to make sure that you've got the depth to make it to game number 12, game number 13, all the way to 16 this year because you got the playoffs. So I'd be hesitant if I was a coach, and I wouldn't want to use him too much. But like you said, if you use him once in a while, like Tebow in the freshman year, it should work out okay.
Yeah, I like that. That is a great point right there. And of course, 15, Dylan Raiola at quarterback. And my thoughts or my initial, going into camp, my questions were, how are we going to use them week 1? Are we going to kind of, ease them into it? Are we going to, keep it simple for them and, not throw too much at them? And I just saw an interview right before we hopped on, and Rule was like, we're not easing him into anything. Him with the way he plays as a junior is the way we're expecting him to play on week 1. So it's interesting when I hear that. I'm like, okay, like that means, first of all, he's shown that, because you don't expect anything out of a player that he can't provide and give you, right? So it shows me that he's done that in camp, right? He's done that, throughout practice. And secondly, the pace of this offense now, what in my mind means that it requires for Dylan to be on point. He said, yeah, we're just going to call a play and Dylan's going to have to go through his progressions. So the play calling isn't going to be adjusted. And that's what I love to hear. I want to see a complex offense with a high caliber quarterback. We talked about Dylan can throw, obviously he can throw up here. He can throw down here. He can throw on the run this way, throwing across, to the right. He can make every throw there is. And not a lot of quarterbacks can do that. Obviously, I'm sure you've talked about Dylan on your channel, but what type of things are you expecting from Dylan Raiola, quarterback, this year?
So I think my expectations may be a little bit unrealistic because I think this dude has unbelievable potential. I think you go back to 2018 when Adrian Martinez was with Scott Frost in his first season. And Adrian didn't play his senior year of high school. I think he actually was coming off of a shoulder surgery. And he got to Nebraska. He won the starting QB job, played in his first game against Colorado. Not a bad team back then, actually. They were pretty decent. But they didn't win that game. But he went off. He had a massive run. He had a huge bomb down the middle of the field to J.D. Spielman. And after that game, you realize, wow, this guy might have a really special season. Fast forward to the end, and Adrian did have a special season. Go into 2019, his sophomore year, and he was projected to be one of the top 3 or 4 Heisman guys. So if Adrian Martinez, coming off of a season in high school where he didn't play, wasn't as highly touted of a passing quarterback as Dylan Raiola is, would be able to make the splash he did in Frost's first season, what do you think Raiola could do? This is one of the premier quarterbacks in this class, one of the premier in the last 5 classes. This is a guy who's been talked about and studied by tons of the pro scouts. So I just think I don't want to set the bar too high, and I don't want to speak too much to, well, I expect, 3,000, 4,000 yard passing yards this year with all the talent he has in that room and a pretty good offensive line helping back him up. But I do believe that this is a team who's going to compete in the top 5, 6 of the Big Ten in terms of passing or at least total offense.
Yeah, I totally agree. And obviously talking about the O-line, there's a question I asked on here. I said, what percentage of Dylan Raiola's success is dependent on the offensive line? And so I want to hear your number. Mine was, I believe it was 80. What was yours, Harrison?
I wasn't too far off. I think I was 70.
You think you were about 70? Yeah. So I know we're sitting around there. What's your percentage?
30, 25.
Ooh.
Yeah, one of the things that Dylan's good at is getting the ball out really quickly. He's super aware. He's going to have a lot of outlets. And the way that this offense is going to run, they'll have the tight ends, they'll have multiple receivers. You've got Ramir Johnson, like we talked about, his little outlet. Dylan's smart. And if that pressure's coming from his backside, he's going to know, and he's going to get that ball out quick. I do think if he has a lot of protection and he's good to go for 6 seconds in the pocket, we're going to see awesome offensive plays. And the way that the offense can be called is going to be very different than if we have breakdowns on the left tackle side or up the middle. But in general, I think Dylan's a pretty smart quarterback, and he's going to find ways to get that ball out. This coaching staff is smart. They've coached in the NFL. They've coached at all levels of college. So they're going to find ways to make him win either way.
That's a good point, too, especially with the wide receivers we brought in. Last year, you can make the argument that the offensive line was going to be a lot more because our wide receivers just needed that much more time, I think, to get open. Isaiah Nayor, Banks. Yeah. Guys should be able to get open. Like I said, I think Banks will absolutely be that guy where even if it's not third down, he's going to be a guy to get open for you quickly. You're not going to have to sit in there and hold on to the ball too long.
Right. Yeah. And I think about, as you're saying, that's a great point. As I think about last year, what the defense was able to do last year, like they could load the box, send 5 and play man outside press. Right. When I look at, Isaiah Nayor and Jamal Banks, even, Bonner and IGC out there, like you just can't do that. Mm-hmm. You just can't do that. And, especially with Banks and Nair, you just can't do that, right?
And especially with Jalen Lloyd. Look at the yards after the catch from Jalen Lloyd last year, or Janir and Bonner. Any of these guys, if they get the ball 5-6 yards downfield and they have a lane and they're in a one-on-one position, I would bet they're going to win a lot of one-on-ones with DBs. So I think any team who's just in single man or whatever they're doing is going to have to really adjust their expectations for what they're doing on defense, because this wide receiver core is deadly after the catch.
Absolutely. With that being said, we're already up to our first break here. So again, don't go anywhere. We got Connor Hayden, Corn Crazed, in here with us. Chancellor Brewington, the host, is always to my left. A couple more segments. We'll talk to you guys on the other side.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
The Sleep Gallery at Schaefer's can help take the labor out of your Labor Day. Rest easy with special Labor Day savings so you can transform your restless night into a perfect sleep. And it all starts on a new Serta Perfect Sleeper mattress, now with up to $700 in Labor Day savings. Or you can get up to $1,200 off on a new Beauty Rest Black mattress when you add an adjustable base. Plus, get up to 48 months interest-free. Transform your sleep and rest easy this Labor Day in the Sleep Gallery at Schaefer's.
Experience a cleaner tomorrow with Niederhaus Refuse. Whether it's weekly residential pickups, large-scale commercial disposals, recycling, or roll-off, Niederhaus's team is here with reliable, efficient service and the most advanced solutions. Discover the difference that a committed and experienced waste management company can make. Niederhaus Refuse has been in business for over 100 years and is family-owned and operated since 1921. Call Niederhaus Refuse at 402-475-8361 and visit their website at nbrefuselincoln.com to learn more or sign up for your service today.
NEBCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEBCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEBCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, this deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Riddles Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddles Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddles Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddles Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddles Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more. All at Riddles inside Gateway Mall.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog? A cat? Or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Allow me to get a bit sappy. For women, jewelry isn't just a gift. It's a timeless symbol of love and appreciation. You have to get this right. No fleeting trends or gadgets will make the impact. Every time she wears it, every time she gets a compliment, you win. Trust me, guys, you'll get your money worth. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I was noticing on your website you have more than 150 new 2024 and 2025 Hondas in stock right now.
Yes, we do, Charlie. It's neat when you drive by and see all the cars on our lot, and we have most all models and all different colors available, and we even have more than hundreds on the way. We also have the all-new, all-electric 2024 Honda Prologue in stock right now. We have a few of them to choose from. Plus, qualified buyers get financing from just 1.9% APR.
How about your pre-owned selection?
I talk to a lot of my customers and friends, and they still think that we just sell brand new Honda, but we sell all different models, make of pre-owned cars, and we have more than 100 to choose from right now.
Well, maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
The Sleep Gallery at Schaefer's can help take the labor out of your Labor Day. Rest easy with special Labor Day savings so you can transform your restless night into a perfect sleep. And it all starts on a new Serta Perfect Sleeper mattress, now with up to $700 in Labor Day savings. Or you can get up to $1,200 off on a new Beauty Rest Black mattress when you add an adjustable base. Plus, get up to 48 months interest-free. Transform your sleep and rest easy this Labor Day in the Sleep Gallery at Schaefer's.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in to What's Brewing, Chancellor Brewington. We got Connor Hayden of Corn Craze streaming in with us. If you guys want to join in, again, use the streams. Great way to put a face to the voice, and always a little bit of extra content on there as well. Starting him and text line still available to you guys. Feel free to reach out on that one as well. Before we get anywhere, we do got some quotes from Matt Rule's press conference today. And since we kind of wrapped up last segment, we talked about Dylan Raiola a little bit. Let's go ahead and hear from the head coach himself, Matt Rule, on Raiola's standard of play.
Specifically strategy, but mindset-wise.
Yeah, Dylan's going to play. He's going to play the plays, right? He's going to, when we call drop back, he's going to go back there, take his drop, go through his progression. Just how we want him to play when he's a junior. We're going to start day one that way. We're not easing into anything.
So again, that goes back to what Brewington said. And I think that's important to actually get the audio from Matt Rule. So Connor, I'll ask you, obviously putting a lot of confidence in freshman quarterback Dylan Raiola. I know it's UTEP, but I don't want to say it's just UTEP either, because we've seen Georgia Southern, we've seen Troy, Northern Illinois, unfortunately. Do you have any fears when you hear a statement like that of maybe not setting up an offense versus UTEP that's going to be able to ease them into it? Worried about turnovers early and maybe hurting that confidence?
No, because I think you have a defense you can trust and rely on. When you have a defense as strong as what Nebraska's putting on the field, you can actually afford to take shots with your quarterback. You can afford to have turnovers. Now, I'm not predicting that to happen. I don't think it will. But I think if there is a worst-case scenario on offense, you have a defense to protect you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we want to talk about the offensive line a little bit. So Brewington, I'm going to throw it to you. And then we also got to talk about the spread. Because it is I never want to preach people to go ahead and gamble, especially not on this one. But it's the spread that it's pretty high. And I'm curious what people think, if we can actually cover it or not. Brewington, go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. And just to end on the offense, we'll obviously keep talking about Raiola a little bit more. But Turner gets to start at left tackle. And I think that's super interesting. And people obviously feel a certain type of way. And for some of their feelings, it's justified, right? But when I look at that, I look at the right side and I look at right tackle, I look at Bryce Benhart and what happened in 2022, right? And then the transformation in 2023, all of a sudden now he's honorable mention and, he's getting put on for award lists. And just, 2021, 2022, people were, calling him out, this and that, calling him out his name, all these different stuff.
Hate to say that's been the way of offensive linemen at Nebraska. And I will always say this, does not help those guys when they've had a constant rotating door on their who their offensive line coach is.
Right.
I think it's a big move keeping Raiola, the offensive line coach, in place. Finally get some consistency there.
Yeah. So when you look at Turner starting at this left tackle, obviously, you know, Teddy goes down and all this different stuff. When you see him starting, what are your initial thoughts? Obviously, he has experience, right? Kind of a rough year last year. Hasn't, I would say, the ceiling for him or the expectation for him when he first came in, high recruit out of Kansas, hasn't, I guess, really reached that to other people's standards. So what are your thoughts when you see that?
Yeah, I think it's a huge opportunity for him, right? Because like you said, he didn't reach the standards that at least fans have put on him. And I'm sure he hasn't reached the expectations he had for himself.
Right.
He's the best option there. He's the most senior in the room. He obviously has a ton of experience. The reason that there are red flags, or at least concerns in people's eyes, is because he did grade out so poorly as a blocker in the past few seasons. But he's dealt with injuries. And like you said, he's dealt with coaching turnover. Sometimes it just takes one off season to really fix somebody and get them back in the right frame of mind, get them to really unlock that potential that we haven't seen yet. He actually did have a good freshman season, so we know it's in there, right? His freshman season, he came in, he played for Brendan Hymas against Rutgers. Nebraska won that game. People were excited about the prospect of him being the starting left tackle for the next 3 seasons after that. And obviously things shifted. I just think you got to look at it as an opportunity. This is in basketball. In basketball, you worry about one weak link. In football, you have this entire offensive line. You have other guys helping block. The running backs obviously can step in. So one guy isn't going to make or break this team. The reason the offensive line was such a concern these past few years is because it wasn't just Turner Corcoran grading out poorly. It was everybody grading out poorly. You had one guy who was doing his job maybe, and then the other 4 weren't really all there. So I try to, not put too much pressure on a single player and say, let's just see how this team does as a whole. I'm not concerned. And it's not something registers or something I look to as a problem.
Yeah. That's a great point. So we got UTEP this week, obviously. And what was the spread, Harrison?
20. Let me double check, see if it's moved at all.
It's 27.5.
Yep. Thank you.
There we go. 27.5. Do you agree with that? Point blank period. Do you agree with that?
Just the number, I think that's a fair line. Yeah, I think it's pretty fair. Nebraska's at least 27.5 points better than this team. You got to think about what Nebraska's done over the last 12 months and what that team's done. Nebraska's had an opportunity to learn from their mistakes, build on them, recruit in the portal, develop their players. UTEP has now just tried to start their rebuild. So UTEP spent the last 8 months trying to figure out who they are. Nebraska knows who they are, and they're just trying to really solidify this identity. It's not fair that UTEP's coming into Nebraska. It's not fair that UTEP doesn't have the same recruiting resources. It's not fair that UTEP doesn't have the caliber of players that Nebraska has. So it would make sense to me that Nebraska's going to win this game by at least 28 points.
Over.
Yeah, over. No, I like it. I personally think maybe I'll actually say a prediction, probably about like 30, 38 to 9 maybe.
Yeah, I'm okay. As long I think our offense will be good enough to put up 40. I will say this when I get both you guys' thoughts on this, because I think we'll have to wait, obviously, on Saturday if we play up to it. But if you believe what the coaches are saying, then in Dylan Raiola in particular, that he's living up to what he's supposed to be, then yeah, that spread is certainly, you can see how that's happening. I think UTEP, they were towards the bottom of the barrel in college football last year out of all teams. So it should be one where we should be able to dominate. But how big is to you guys that for the past 4 years, Nebraska did not get to host their season opener? Not only that, it was also against conference opponents. It wasn't even non-cons. You're playing against Northwestern, playing against Illinois. You're just not getting an easy game on the road, typically a conference opponent as well. How big is it that we actually get to start the season at home, not just this game, but then Colorado and the next 2 games following? That's 4 home games to start out the year.
I defer to Chancellor here because I think you have the experience as a player. What's the difference when you're playing an early season game at Nebraska versus on the road, especially against a Big Ten opponent?
Right. Yeah, no, it makes a world difference, especially in preparation. Not to say you prepare different for UTEP or Illinois, but I would say building a foundation for the offense and being able to build on that, because you expect to win these games, right? You expect to blow them out. And what I wanted to talk about with this UTEP game, why I want it to be a blowout. I want it to be a blowout, but I want it to be a big blowout. I wish they put up 55 points on them,
like Northwestern when they came to Lincoln that
I want it to be like ridiculous, right? Why do I want it to be ridiculous? Because This is why the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Clemsons of the 2017-ish era, right? The A&Ms back in the day. This is why they were so good.
Yeah, the Nebraskas of back in the day. I'll throw them in there.
Right. I'll tell you why. Because they got to these first 4 or 5 games, right? Obviously, you mix in a conference opponent, Colorado, whatever, right? They blow these teams out, and guess what happens? Their second string gets quality reps, sometimes before even half, right? Third quarter, you got your third string and second string and fourth quarter. You got guys who would never touch the field, right? Who they would, just redshirt them, right? But they're able to play, 3 games, right? And get quality reps. So when they transition into winter and spring, they're like, oh, I know what it feels like to play, And so it's huge. It's huge when you have a opportunity to play a UTEP, to play a Georgia Southern. Obviously, we didn't get it done. A Fordham, Northern Illinois, teams like that, because it builds confidence, and especially you got a young quarterback. What's the number one thing for quarterbacks that you need? You need rhythm, you need confidence, and you need execution. Well, with the team like UTEP, obviously you got a new head coach. I wouldn't expect them to win more than 3 games this year, right?
Yeah, Scotty Walden is Birmingham. I know we're not going to dive into UTEP, but he's interesting. First year head coach. I think he's one of the 3rd youngest coaches too, college football right now, at a head coach in the obviously D1 level.
Exactly. So this is perfect opportunity for especially a young quarterback to get his feet under him, throw for 280, 300 yards, right? Go throw 3 touchdowns at home, get the city riled up, right? And then bring in Colorado week 2 with some confidence under your belt, with some assurance that the work that you put in during fall camp, it really works. The scheme that we're running, be able to define it a little bit more, know what we're working with. Young guys get reps. But yeah, that's what I personally think.
Connor, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on that? Being like me, a person that didn't actually get to go play on the field.
Yeah, I think you can afford to make mistakes, right? And when you're playing against an Illinois or Northwestern, there's a lot more pressure because you lose to those teams every other year because they're on par with you talent-wise. When you play against a team like UTEP, although they are going to have a lot of players who transferred over from a successful team in Austin Peay last year, an FCS playoff team, they just don't have the size. They don't have the talent makeup, the coaching. Like you said, Nebraska has a massive coaching edge here because their coaches all have NFL experience, multiple conferences in college football, whereas Scotty Walden and his staff is younger, had smaller jobs. So this is just an opportunity where you can play, you can make mistakes, all those things that Rule preaches. Play fast, and it's okay if you mess up. Those are all going to be things that you can afford to do here, which in a Big Ten matchup or against even Colorado, you have a little bit less of a leash.
Yeah, for sure. Now, looking at this defense, this 3-3-5, this, becoming this emergence in the Big Ten Conference. I look at this defense, and the first thing that comes to mind is the D-line room. Of course, you got Ty, you got Nash, you got Jamari, you got John, you got Mackay, P. Will, MJ Sherman, Tommy Hill, Giff, Malcolm, Deshaun, Buford. So you got all these dogs, right? What's going to be interesting is I would say the keys to this defense, the keys that they needed to fix in the offseason. I would say number 1 would be rushing with 3 and rushing with 4, getting to the quarterback with those. And it seems like that was an emphasis, right? They knew it going into the year, and they corrected it. Another one would just be takeaways. We just need more takeaways, simply put, especially with a young quarterback. Being able to flip the field fast for him is going to be super, super key. And lastly, just maintaining the standard that they had last year, right? So I guess my question is, what are some sleepers on this defense? And I'll start with mine.
We got to tease it because we are up to a break, but I'll let you go ahead and tease it.
Okay, yeah, some sleepers, and mine is Cameron Lindhart. I think he's the sleeper on this defense, although all American freshmen, and I understand that, but he would be starting on any other team, right? He'll be the number 1 D lineman on just about any other team, right? So it's going to be interesting to hear from you on the break, after the break, on what you think about that.
Absolutely. So we'll do that next. You got Lenhart as your sleeper on the defensive side of the ball. We'll get Connors next. Don't go anywhere. What's Brewing, Chancellor Brewington? We got Corin Craze streaming in here with us. We'll talk to you guys on the other side.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Stevens & Smith Construction is a full-service, employee-owned concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've been a leader in the concrete industry since 1971, with nearly 250 employees combining for more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensandsmith.com.
Announcing Acres' end of summer sales event. Acres has dropped its prices on select late model John Deere tractors, combines, and corn heads. Act now and upgrade your equipment before harvest season. Trade in your old equipment today and get unbelievable discounts that could save you over $100,000. With great financing options and our A-plus support, there's no better time to buy. Visit your local Acres store or see the huge savings at acres.com. That's AKRS.com to see the best prices in the nation.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation right now at appliedconnective.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186. Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. We know that navigating the legal system is stressful and overwhelming, but Liberty Law Group will carry that burden for you. When you're facing legal issues, make the right call. 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. What's Brewing, Chancellor Brewington. We got Connor Hayden of Corn Crazed. You can go ahead and give him a follow on Twitter as well. X, I should say, at Corn Crazed _. Be sure to give him a follow. We only got a few minutes left here. So, Chancellor Brewington, the host as always, I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, so before break, I asked, what was your sleeper piece? Obviously, you got the national ties, but what's your sleeper piece on this defense that you're expecting to have a big year?
Yeah, I don't know if he'll have a big year, but I do think he's a guy to watch for. It's Sayer Wright. He went to USC. He was a top 75 player in the country. As a redshirt freshman, he was a starter there. USC ended up going to the Cotton Bowl that season, but the defense really struggled because they had an atrocious coaching staff. He ended up leaving, and I think he went to be an actor, came back to football, but he didn't do it until just a couple months ago. So now he's working with the number 2s at the corner spot behind Marquise Buford Jr. And I just think once he gets back acclimated to football, I'm sure he was a little out of shape. Once he's got some new coaching and he starts to learn defense the right way, because I don't think USC did it the right way, I think he could pop off and be a potential starting cornerback in the future.
No, for sure. I love that. I love that. When they went and got him, that was super interesting. I thought that was a really big grab, because when you look at this DB depth,
that's one of the areas that looks like you use work the corners and those DBs.
Yeah, when you see this DB depth, you're kind of like, okay, behind Malcolm is, Derek Branch, behind Deshaun is Kobe Bretts. Like, these guys have gotten, no reps, right? Sprinkle in some reps in who was the out of conference last year? Northern Illinois, I believe.
And Louisiana Tech.
Louisiana Tech, right? So, and I don't think nobody played in the Louisiana Tech 2s, because that was a tight game. So a lot of these guys never played real meaningful important reps. So that's why I say UTEP, we got to blow them out. We got to get these guys on the field, especially these DBs, because you don't want these DBs first getting in against, Purdue later in the year, or our first real primetime game, first in-conference game with Illinois. Like, you don't want that, right? Let me ask you this, Connor. I know you've probably done your predictions on the channel. I don't know when the next time we're going to get you on. I'm sure we'll get you on during season, but I want to get your initial, now we're week 1. I want to get your predictions on this year. What have you said, and what do you think on this year record wise?
Yeah. So I've gone back and forth between 8-4 and 9-3. I think my fandom has scarred me, right? I've been a Nebraska fan my entire life, and I've seen the dark side, and I haven't seen the light in a long time. And because of that, I tend to temper my expectation. 8-4 feels conservative, though, when you look at this schedule. And if things do go the right way and guys do stay healthy and the team does make a jump in their second year with this coaching staff, like everyone says they're going to, then 9-3 seems completely realistic, right? you see a few losses on there. You see a couple games where Nebraska could surprise people and win. They could obviously upset Iowa. They could upset USC, maybe Wisconsin if they're ranked at that point. I mean, there's plenty of games where Nebraska's going to have an opportunity. And just like last year, there's only one that looks like a glaring mismatch with Ohio State and Michigan.
Yeah, that definitely, of course, the Ohio States and Michigans.
Ohio State, if we're going back to the Vegas odds, which again, I always got to preface, do it responsibly. But Ohio State's the only one with 8+ wins on Nebraska's schedule at 10.5. Otherwise, you go through it, and like Connor is right. If you go through that, again, you don't want to belittle your opponents, but you got a lot of 5.5, except for these over-unders, 4.5. Then you get a couple, the Wisconsin, the Iowa, 7.5. But Ohio State's the only one that seems formidable, where if you pull that one off, it's a major upset.
Right. And I think I'm around 9 wins. And I feel every time I do this every year. I did it while we played. I remember the ticket had this board back in the day, and everyone
Don't bring it up.
Yeah, no, but the board. So they would have a board, right? And everyone who worked here would write their predictions. And while I was playing on the 2022 team, I saw the predictions. I'm like, we're about to win, 8 games, it's 9 games. Where I go 10-2, like, what I'm saying? Obviously, we go 3-9 that year, and then next year we get 4 wins, right? I'm drinking a little bit of Kool-Aid, as they say. I am. I'm around 9, because I don't think Dylan has to play that good for Nebraska to elevate and go bowling at least. I don't think he has to play that good. If I'm putting the expectation of the player that he is, that I know he is, and that I've seen and what other people have said and all this different stuff, I'm adding that in there. Now we're getting into the 8, 9, 10, and that's just good football. That's not even saying he's, excellent and,
Yeah, I mean, if we get a quarterback that's average, just average last year, we're bowling. We don't have to hold that record overhead. But we're running out of time here. Connor, where can they find you? YouTube, Twitter, if they want to give you a follow.
Yeah, just type in Corn Crazed and you'll find me. I got a lot of videos up there, and I talk about pretty much, I'm the ESPN for Nebraska football. I go into the weeds, stuff most people do not care about. I get into it.
Absolutely. Definitely go check them out. Again, want to shout out Connor for joining us today. This has been What's Brewing, Chancellor Brewington. Got the former Husker tight end to my left, as always. We'll keep these going on A-List. So again, if you're on Allo, channel 961, you continue watching ticket content. But that's going to do it for us. Appreciate you guys listening. We'll do it again tomorrow.